61 years. A lifetime of silence. In 1964, a quiet neighborhood in Albany, New York, woke up to horror. 50-year-old Catherine Blackburn, a property manager known for her kindness, was found brutally murdered inside the apartment she had been showing to a potential tenant. The killer vanished. The evidence minimal, and for more than half a century, her family had one question that time refused to answer. Who killed Catherine Blackburn? Before we continue, this documentary contains descriptions of violence and sensitive details from an actual murder investigation. Viewer discretion is advised. Catherine Blackburn lived a life defined by responsibility. She managed rental properties, kept meticulous records, and was described as the kind of woman who always showed up. On September 16, 1964, she went to show a two-story brick home on Lancaster Street. That evening, when she didn't return home, her brother went looking for her. What he found would haunt Albany for decades. Catherine was discovered on the floor. She had been sexually assaulted and strangled. Her purse lay open, rent receipts torn apart, a heel mark in the dust, and a single partial footprint near the back door. Detectives gathered fibers, fingerprints, and a small scrap of cloth. It wasn't enough. The 1960s were an age before DNA, before digital forensics, evidence that today could solve a case instantly. Then, it was simply stored away in manila folders and cardboard boxes. The trail went cold within weeks. Years passed. The detectives who worked the scene retired. Evidence was boxed, archived, and nearly forgotten. But in Albany, the name Catherine Blackburn never disappeared. Her nieces and nephews, now adults, kept a candle burning at every anniversary. We never stopped praying for her. Her niece told local media, "We just didn't think we'd ever get an answer." Then, in the 2010s, science began doing what humans couldn't. The rise of forensic genealogy, a process that matches DNA from old cases with modern ancestry databases, started solving cold cases once thought impossible. And quietly, in the Albany Police Cold Case Unit, one detective named Detective Lieutenant Anthony Ryan reopened Catherine's file. Inside was a small plastic bag, a scrap of fabric, carefully preserved for more than half a century. That piece of evidence would change everything. In 2023, the Albany police partnered with Othram, a Texas-based forensic genetics lab known for solving decades-old murders. They called the project Operation Lancaster. The fabric was carefully repackaged and shipped overnight to Othram's lab under chain of custody. It contained microscopic skin cells, less than a pinpoint. Using next-generation sequencing, scientists rebuilt a full genetic profile. Then came the breakthrough. The profile didn't match anyone in criminal databases, but it matched a distant family line. Investigators followed the genealogical trail across generations. Cross-checking birth records, marriage licenses, and military files narrowed the tree to one branch, the Nowakowski family. Among them was Joseph Nowakowski, a local handyman with a record for burglary and assault in the 1960s. He had lived less than a mile from Catherine's home in 1964. There was just one problem. Joseph Nowakowski had been dead since 1998. In 2024, a judge authorized the exhumation of his remains for DNA comparison. The result, a match of 99.99%. The case that haunted Albany for 61 years was officially solved. After 61 years, Albany finally had an answer, but solved doesn't always mean understood. Why did it take 6 decades? The answer lies in time itself. In 1964, investigators did everything they could. They collected evidence carefully, and because of that discipline, it survived. But technology had to catch up. Back then, DNA was unknown. Today, one cell, one invisible fiber, can tell a story science once couldn't hear. Catherine's case became a symbol, a reminder that justice delayed is not always justice denied. The Albany District Attorney called the breakthrough proof that persistence and science can rewrite history. Her family stood quietly, holding photos worn from decades of hope. "We prayed for this day," her niece said through tears. "We just wish our parents had lived to see it." Catherine Blackburn never lived to see justice. Her killer never faced trial. But because of a single scrap of preserved fabric and 6 decades of quiet determination, Her name finally left the cold case files. The announcement came in October 2025. When the district attorney announced a match in October 2025, the room fell silent. No one cheered. No one clapped. Just a collective breath. The sound of a 61-year burden finally exhaled. Catherine Blackburn's case proved one truth. Justice isn't always swift, but it can be relentless. Local newspapers called it a miracle of modern science. What remains is both comforting and haunting. Comforting, because her story finally has an ending. Haunting, because so many others don't. There are thousands of boxes like hers across the country. Inside each, a trace of DNA, a forgotten story, a chance for closure. And somewhere out there, another family is waiting for their phone to ring. Catherine Blackburn's case is proof that time doesn't erase truth. It just hides it. And sometimes, even after 61 years, the truth still finds its way home. 61 years ago, justice was impossible. Today, science and persistence made it real. If you believe every victim deserves justice, no matter how long it takes, don't just watch. Subscribe to Crimes and Clues for more true crime documentaries that uncover the mysteries time tried to bury. Drop a comment with the word justice if you believe science can rewrite history.